Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Learn This Deck with the Dreaming Way Tarot. And the cards we're going to look at today are the court cards, the queens. So these are the four queens from the minor arcanas. And yes, these are the officially female uh, people, characters, uh, which are there in the deck. I know that's traditionally it's a bit of a lopsided, skewed sort of representation for women. But like I said in the very first code card video about pages, I don't necessarily ascribe genders. It's just qualities that happen to have show up in different people. I mean, I've had people like that I've read for guys, really very manly men, but they have certain qualities when they show up in different situations, and they showed up as queens in the reading, and there was nothing wrong with that. It's just that that's how they were. Like, if for example, because feminine qualities of warmth or of understanding and compassion, when they show up, right, then they often show up in the shape of a queen, because that's a really mature quality. Now again, when we're talking about maturity in terms of pages who are like really very fresh and knights who are out there taking action, the queens are again a little bit more mature and a little bit more well versed in the dealings of life and such, and so they have developed that warmth and that compassion and that really loving sort of energy about them. In fact, even in the LWB, the deck creator says that the queen has a very intuitive energy about her, and she tends to focus on helping others rather than changing herself. And that is something very interesting. She is mature, and I'm saying she because, queen, I can't say he. But she is mature, she is a little bit wiser than the knight, but she also likes to help others. She's not necessarily focused on changing herself, because I believe from the knight to the queen, when that transition happens in terms of maturity and in the personality, there's a whole lot of change that has actually taken place. So that she doesn't want to do anything more than that. So she's right at that level there in terms of maturity. And then, of course, she'll go higher, and then that person will mature a little bit more, I guess, in the king stage. But here we are at the queen today. So let's see how it manifests across all the four minor arcana suits. First off, the Queen of Wands, my personal favorite. Um, Look at her. She's sitting there on her throne, which has sunflowers on it, and sunflowers are a great representation of enthusiasm and joy and creativity, because they look at the sun, they go where the sun is. So they seek clarity, they seek wisdom. That's the energy of the sunflowers. And when she sits there on that throne with her wand in one hand, and she's looking in the distance, she's thinking about something. There's a very I'm wondering and I'm pondering kind of energy about her. And because she's the Queen of Wands, and because that's her energy, she's very warm hearted, she's also creative, but she's very, very decisive. She has that whole take charge kind of energy about her. She likes to, because Wands is a very let's do this kind of card. And then we have this warm hearted, creative woman who has that, come on, let's do this kind of energy. So, yes, that makes her very decisive. That makes her a very, I'm going to take charge of this and I'm going to run with this kind of person. And of course, she's very sweet and warm while she does this. I can lie. That's one of the reasons why I really genuinely like the Queen of Wands. She's very sweet like that. She's very much passionate like that. But of course, as is with all cards, this one also, what happens when she becomes reversed? She's going to fall off her throne. All the other four queens are, when their turn comes in the reverse. And when that happens, she becomes a little bit moody. Why? Because this is your passionate, creative energy. And when it's not happy, it becomes moody. You either you're not able to be creative, you're not able to find that creative spark, or you end up being very disinterested. You are like, whatever, man, I'm just not feeling it, that kind of thing. It's very Queen of Wands reversed is very, very moody. So you better be careful around her. She might, even be prone to, temper tantrums and bursts of, fury passion there going all over the place. Think about it. So, what's her card story? Life is such a good thing. All of us are so blessed to have it. But I wonder why people go to such lengths to make it so hard on themselves. If only everyone was nice and kind to each other and helped each other out during their troubles, we would all be living in such a wonderful world with wonderful helping people. How hard is it to be nice to one another? And because she's all passion, she's all, fire energy, she is warm, she has that kind of compassion, where she's like, let's help each other, let's be nice to each other. How hard can it be? How hard is it? That's your Queen of Wands. I like her. Did I tell you I like her? Alright, so from that nice warm place, let's go to this very stark, cold, logical place of the swords. And yes, of course, the Queen of Swords sits on her throne, and everything around her is white and stark. And the only pop of color is her hair and the color of that chair she's sitting on. So, yeah, the Queen of Swords. She's gone through her ups and downs, all right. And so she has that warmth, she has that compassion, but she's also very logical. So you see, you have that feminine energy, and now you have the very masculine, logical, head mind energy. So she's very smart, but she's also very sharp. And she knows where to draw the line. So she'll make sure you know where to draw the line. If you ever cross the line, you better not cross the line with her. And she's very logical and very understanding. And all of that is because she's gone through a whole lot of stuff herself. And so she has that sort of builds up that compassionate feel or energy in her. It's her own hands-on sort of experiences in life. But then, of course, what happens when she becomes reversed and falls out of her chair? She becomes confused. She may lose her temper if someone crosses the line. See, previously, if, let's say, upright, you cross the line, she would not mince words, but she wouldn't get upset. Now, here in the reverse, she gets upset. And she also ends up making illogical decisions. So that's one thing. When you do see the Queen of Swords there in your reading and she's reversed, be very careful. There's going to be a whole lot of crazy shenanigans happening, a lot of confused situations taking place. So watch out for that. Okay? So, what was her card story? I've been through a whole lot of suffering and pain in my life, and so I know how hard it is to survive in this brutal world. But that doesn't mean that I'm some kind of a pushover. Don't even dream of crossing the line with me. I won't stand for it. I'm being nice to you because I've also been where you are now, but that doesn't give you the right to take advantage of me. No way. Yeah. She tells it like it is. That's one good thing I like about her. She tells it like it is, and she's very, very sharp. She has a very quick understanding of of person. She has a very sharp, keen sort of judgment. Nothing really. She doesn't miss a thing. She's very smart like that. I like her too. So from there, let's go to the very flowy, sweet cups energy. And yes, this is the sweet Queen of Cups. And she's sitting there with her cup and she's looking into that cup. And she doesn't really look like she's smiling, but with her is a little kid who is, right? And cups being all feminine and flowy, and queens being all feminine, so this is a very, very feminine sort of energy with the Queen of Cups. She is creative and intuitive, of course, and she's very open hearted, but she's also emotional, and she also is a bit of an empath. because she can sense other people's feelings. Now that can go both ways. That's probably why they've not drawn her with a smile on her face. But because emotionally, if she's in a good place, then it's nice, it's happy, it's your good day. But because of the empathy, because of the same emotional situation, it's a plus minus kind of a thing. And yes, she's very, very motherly. She has that whole mother instinct going on about her. That's probably why they've shown her with a kid, because they wanted to emphasize that motherly angle of the Queen of Cups. But then, of course, what happens when this card becomes reversed and they all kind of fall down? She gets disconnected from her creative and intuitive energies. She becomes sad and depressed, emotionally imbalanced, and she's definitely not feeling very motherly at this point of time. So beware, be careful. Carry the tissues when you see the Queen of Cups reversed. Bring a whole box of them with you. Yeah. There's definitely going to be some kind of emotional outburst happening with the Queen of Cups reversed. Trust me on this. Carry the box of tissues with you. Be prepared. And just, be there for this person. Let her cry on your shoulders. She'll thank you for it later on. Trust me. There's a Queen of Cups reversed. So, what's her card story? I have so many different ideas, so many creative concepts inside of me. It's just so much fun to be creative and to live this beautiful life. I even have such a wonderful daughter. I love her. Her laughter makes my day. So, why do I feel so emotional some of these times? Why do I feel a bit down now and then? I wonder what's going on with me. So, in one moment she's happy, in one moment she's not. This is because, like, imagine emotions like waves going up and down in the ocean. That's the Queen of Swords. She's all over the place, but she's in one place. Okay. I'm not going to start talking philosophy here, but that's your Queen of Cups. So let's go ground ourselves with the Queen of Pentacles because, hey, that's what we do. Pentacles are all about manifestation, practical energy, and then we have the feminine energy of the Queen. Again, she's also depicted with a baby. So that's again emphasizing the very motherly angle. And also because she's the Queen of Pentacles, she's also very, very practical. So we have practical, creative person, a very motherly person, and very feminine, loving, compassionate person. So it's all kind of together. She is financially successful. There's just no doubt about it. Yeah. Because obviously she is smart. She's able to balance work and home. She's the perfect sort of example that any normal person, any normal woman looks at and says, how does she do it? How does she balance her home and her successful career and, not break down under the burden of it all? She doesn't. That's your Queen of Pentacles. Get jealous, but that's how it is. She is practical and creative and wise. And yes, she's motherly, but she's very, very practical and creative and wise. There's a whole lot of good stuff, wholesomeness about her. The Queen of Pentacles. She's also one of those, women that you kind of are jealous of and aspire to be like at the same time. Yeah. She has her career and her home and all of it is she's so well put together. She's just kind of perfect. But of course, card can be reversed. Things can go awry. This is what happens. She may have problems with financial success. She is unable to balance her work and her personal life. She becomes a little bit impractical and unwise in terms of her decisions, and she may be, having some difficulties with that motherly angle of her personality. So yeah, watch out for the Queen of Pentacles when she is reversed because that's a bad decision waiting to happen. So just be very, very careful. And money, yeah, it's just make sure she's not handling the money part of the situation when she's in reverse. It's just no. Okay. So what was her card story? Life is good. All things are good. But only if we work hard and make it so. My dear child, I promise you that I will create a world where you will not want for anything. But at the same time, I will also make sure that you aren't a spoiled brat. Hard work builds character, and I will raise you well. Both work and life are equally important, and I will show you how to bring about that balance in your life as well. Yeah, so when I got into her head in order to write the story, it was the way she's looking at that baby, it was like, inside of her head she's making these promises to her own child. She's like, I'll teach you everything, I'll make sure you don't want for anything, but at the same time I'm not going to make you a spoiled brat. She's very practical, this lady, and she has that whole tough love angle about her. So that, I guess, that makes her a really good sort of ideal mother, career woman, all of it. She's just perfect. Yeah, yeah. Just deal with it. That's how it is. So that's your Queen of Pentacles. All right. So, what were your card stories all about? What were your feelings about all the four queens? Go ahead, take a picture, post it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and use the hashtag Learn This Deck. You could also use the hashtags Queens, Code Cards, Dreaming Way Tarot, and Tarotically Speaking. And share your wisdom with everybody. Let all of us kind of get together online like this and learn this deck, okay? And yes, as all good things must come to an end, I suppose tomorrow with the Kings, this Learn This Deck series is also going to wrap up. So, yes, I will be back again tomorrow with the last video, I suppose. Or maybe I could make one more, wrapping things up more nicely. I don't know, if I feel like it, I'll make it. But anyway, tomorrow is, we're going to talk about the four kings. So I will see you tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay good, be good, learn this deck. Bye now.